Hello everyone, this is Paper Kitty coming back to you here on my channel to go over some fun stuff about junk journals. In this case, we are looking at some of the elements that kind of get me going for a new junk journal. In this case, I have a book cover already made, and this book is going to be called Snow, and the inspiration, of course, is the cover. And what I've done is used a book that was in pretty good shape. The first and last page were actually that red material, and I was able to come back with it and glue it back on after adding a chipboard spine. So the spine is really nice and thick. So then there's a signature that I've already made. And so, I kind of just put some papers together and kind of made sure that the sizes would be good for that book cover. Then I'm showing you these stickers again because I love them so much, and they are kind of my inspiration. So right now, I guess you could say that the elements that I'm showing you are like the ones that really inspired me to kind of put together this new lovely journal called Snow. And there is a variety of Christmas cards and Christmas card envelopes and some book pages, not really book pages but scrapbook pages is what I meant to say. And of course, again, I folded them to size. Now this very first page on this signature, because there's two signatures, is a little bit bigger. It's actually an actual like 8.5 by 11 normal size letter size, and the reason I'm gonna leave it a little bigger is because I'm gonna put a border around it, like some trim. And so now what you're seeing is me kind of just fiddling around and just kind of playing with this doily that I just fell in love with, that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's always so fun when you can find really cute things there, because I think I said that in my other video as well. You do spend, you can spend some money, in like specialty stores, and even if you go thrift stores and hobby stores and things, I mean, it does add up. So whenever you can find something that is really inexpensive, it's just exciting. I think it's part of the fun of junk journaling, which is why, you'll see a lot of different, just kind of videos related to junk journals, having to do with like hauls and Happy Mail and things like that, which brings me to the topic of Happy Mail. I've considered kind of maybe doing some Happy Mail swap with somebody or some people. I say somebody because I really don't think I can get started with like a bunch of people all at once. But if y'all interested at all, please leave me a comment below, and if you feel comfortable putting your email address there, that's great. Or you can even go to my Etsy and converse with me through there. That might be an easier way to do that. But so yeah, I'm going to try to remember to link that below in case you would like to contact me and maybe exchange some Happy Mail. I think that would be super fun. So anyway, as I'm doing the voiceover here, I've just kind of been going through some elements that I'm kind of going through, and this is not a really good shot. I'm a little bit out of frame, but basically what I'm trying to do is create a really pretty, inside cover and first page. I think that with a junk journal, when you first open it up, I mean, that's kind of like your front door in a way. You know, like the outside of the junk journal is like your curb appeal, and then when you open it up, it's like your front door kind of thing and foyer. And so that should be beautiful, because that is kind of like the first impression that you get. And so I believe in making that beautiful. Now, you know, there are times that I've made it nicer than other times, but you know, typically the goal is to make it super cute, because like I said, it kind of gives the tone and the theme maybe for the junk journal. And so I am spending quite a bit of time just kind of trying out, auditioning different kinds of papers and different kinds of cards. And now that I'm up at this right where I'm looking at right now, like I said, I'm doing the voiceover, so I'm trying to remember what comes next. But anyway, that's one of the cards that I do end up using, but I end up using it as part of the signature, because even though I really loved it, and it could have, any of those beautiful greeting cards could have been there, I already had those images on the right side on that paper that has the little Christmas Santa with the little child, and then the Christmas Santa with the on the horse. So I didn't want to keep putting more like people images on there. I felt like I needed a different element, and that greeting card I have in my hand right now is gorgeous, but I ended up actually using it in the center of one of the signatures. I can't remember I think it is in that first signature. And actually this time I decided not to put in too many pages, because it turns out that my junk journals end up being extremely fat, and it's because I can't stop embellishing, and I cannot stop making pockets, and I cannot stop making tags and things that will make it fat. So that is why I'm not putting as many pages. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I'm guessing, I think I put like about 5 sheets, which basically, if you count, you know, front and back, and then, you know, of one sheet, it's 4 pages. So, you know, I guess that would be, if you put 5 times 4, it would be 20 pages if you put 5 sheets. So, and I am known to get the math wrong on things. So, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's correct. I know one of my videos I said something about counting the back and front and stuff like that, and I just totally messed up on the math. But anyway, can't remember what video that was. But I finally pinned down one of the cards, of the greeting cards, that I felt like I wanted to use. And but then before putting that anywhere on I really didn't want to cover the inside cover, because I love the way the inside cover turned out. So what I did instead is decided to put like a little pocket on the bottom, like a little lace pocket, and then I put that greeting card, you know, kind of like a journaling card in there. So, but before I do all that, I had to kind of decide on a closure, so that if I was going to go ahead and make it, if I needed to adhere the closure to the inside of the junk journal cover, then this is when I need to do that. So this is about the time you want to decide on that. And I'm sorry for the very long time that I'm like fidgeting with this little, it's like a little, I got this at a thrift store, but it is like a little decoration, like an embellishment of a type, and it came with cinnamon sticks, and I just fell in love with that ribbon. I mean, that ribbon is this like really beautiful, dark, rich Christmas green with lace around it, okay? And then it's lined with like this kind of maroon brown lining, like satin or something on the inside. So anyway, I had to step away and get a wire cutter from my little jewelry thing because yeah, I was just really having a good old hard time trying to take that thing apart, and I was trying to be really careful because I didn't want to break it. So that's another thing there. That was fun. But and I did kind of not break it, but it did have a few in the end. I did have to kind of make an adjustment here and there to deal with it because I did kind of rip a little piece here and there, but I was able, thankfully, to go back and glue it with some of that fabric glue, which I am starting to really love, even though it's really expensive. I feel like, I mean, maybe some people don't think it's very expensive, but I think if you pay full price, it's like $10 for glue, so that's kind of a lot, I think. But I guess if you consider what it does, it's like magic. So yeah, a little bottle of magic, sure, I'll pay $10. But anyway, I usually try to use my coupon anyway, 40%, either usually like at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So yeah. Okay, so with that being said, I actually did end up using quite a bit of that fabric glue, not just on fabric, but like on other things, because I already had it handy. And so I was like, well, might as well just go with it, right? So so that's what happened. So yeah, I'm still fidgeting with this lovely little ribbon here, but I mean, that's how much I loved it, and I sped this video up, okay? So I'm just saying that, you know. But yeah, you could see kind of how I ripped a piece of the lace accidentally, but then I did go back, you know, and glue it back on, and thankfully I was able to do a fairly decent job to where it worked out okay. And then there was like another extra couple little pieces remaining, and so I haven't decided if and how I want to use that. But yeah, you could see that little bit there on the left side of the screen that it's kind of like faded or bleached or something. It just kind of has like an off color on it. So yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna use it, but I didn't want to throw it away because I figured I might be able to use it somehow. So now I'm kind of trying to see how I can actually adhere it to the book. So I'm trying to kind of measure it a little bit and see if it's going to be long enough even. And it looks like it will be. I mean, it's not as long as I would like for it to be, so that, you know, because when I close it up, you know, I may not be able to make a really cute large bow, you know, because it's going to be a lot thicker than what it is the way I just showed you, because there's no pages in there like that. But anyway, so yeah, I went ahead and ironed it. Of course, I didn't show that part here, but I ironed it, and then I'm adhering the center bit first, and because you want to make sure that you get that straight, because if you don't get that straight, everything else is going to be wonky with it. So then I did the right side and then the left side, and again, I will sing praises about that fabric glue, and I think it is Fabric Tac. Love it, okay, because it dries so fast and adheres pretty fast. So there I was, kind of just flattening it out, making sure it was nice and adhered, and so I think it came out pretty good. So now I am grabbing some of this lace that I had a piece of, and yeah, it is just, I love that lace. And actually I made a snippet roll a while back, and I need to do a video on that because it's just beautiful, I think. I mean, I know I'm like saying all this stuff that I do is beautiful, and I'm not saying that. I know it sounds like that, but I'm just saying like these elements are beautiful, in themselves, like not because I'm doing something with them. Of course, that probably does help, because I think when you get a piece of lace and you're able to showcase it in a beautiful way, like on a pocket of a book, I think that's cool. Okay, it really is. So, but yeah, not tooting my horn here at all. So I know they can come across that way sometimes, but that's not what I'm doing. So I am trying to figure out, as you can see, how am I gonna put this piece of lace here, because it's like a cream lace and it's kind of see-through-ish and it's kind of pretty, but I don't know. I was kind of feeling like, the size and everything, because it was like a piece, it was just really close to the size of that card, journaling card that I turned into a journaling card. And I thought, I just don't want it to be so close that it may not fit. You want to leave a little bit of extra room on the sides, but then you also don't want the pocket to be so big that it kind of sticks out of the book either, or that it's getting in the way of your spine, right? So you got to have a good size there. And so what I ended up doing is cutting a piece of cardboard, and then I was looking through some of that Christmas paper, Christmas music paper, and I just was having a little bit of a hard time ripping it up, to be honest with you. I was thinking I might need to just take a copy of it, because I don't know that I want to rip up that book. So I do have a hard time ripping up books, to be honest with you, but sometimes that's why I take a copy of it. But in some cases, I try to use the original, pieces as much as I can, because I don't want all the confusion about the copyright and all this stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, every element that I touch and that I use in a junk journal was made by someone else. It didn't just like magically appear in my hand, given to me by an angel or anything like that. So as far as I'm concerned, we would have to give credit for like every tiny little detail, which is kind of impossible. So, and in many cases we don't even know, like I don't know who designed that lace. Okay, it's a beautiful lace and I want to showcase it, and I think it's very, very happy in this junk journal. And anyway, sorry for the rant, but yeah, that's what's going on in my head, right? Okay, so yeah, I've go ahead. What I did is I got another piece of paper that was actually had some Christmas music, and it was actually from church, again from the choir, and it just so happened to be like a cream, like a really pretty color. It almost looked like a tea-dyed piece, so that was really cool because. But anyway, I was gonna cover it up with the lace anyway, so it really didn't matter too much. I don't feel like with this journal that everything needs to be tea dyed. I know like with the one I did last time, the Mary, I really felt like most everything had to be tea dyed. If it was like, I just didn't like a stark white paper in there. It just didn't go with the journal. But in this journal, I can have some of those elements be white. And okay, just like this journaling card, which, as you can tell, I've sewn around it. I took the back of the greeting card and removed, the back of it. And so the front, I just sewed it around to create that journaling card. Okay, so now I was gonna sew that trim onto this page, but I decided to just go ahead and use the fabric glue because I am not the best seamstress, and I do struggle with my sewing machine. Okay, my sewing machine and I get into some serious fights, and it typically wins. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going through that this time. I can sew other things, and this trim is like, it was easily falling apart on the corners once you cut it. So I thought, you know what, let me just glue this baby, because that's just what had to happen there. So now I've glued the back side of that greeting card, and yeah, I just put it on there and left it like a little pocket on the side, and kind of just gave that page some sturdiness because it was just like a regular piece of paper. And so now with that in the back, it's a little thicker, and it helps me even with putting the rest of that trim, that pretty beautiful, it's just stunning. It's like a gold with like some black in it. I love it. I think it's just stunning. Again, I don't know who designed the beautiful, lovely trim, but I did get it on Hobby Lobby or Michaels. Can't remember which one. I want to say Hobby Lobby, but okay. So this time I'm doing something a little different. I'm not going all the way around the page. A lot of times when I put my trim, I go all around, the whole page, all four sides. But in this case, I didn't have as much trim, and I thought, let me try something different. So what I did is I went ahead and got my second signature, which is this one here with the candy cane scrapbook paper, and I got that first page of that signature, which is like a not glassine, what am I trying to say, kind of like a vellum. It's a really pretty see-through with white polka dots. It almost looks like snowflakes a little bit. It's beautiful. But anyway, I went ahead and went to the very end of that page, the right side, and adhered the trim there. And you'll see when I put the whole thing together that it gives it to where when you close the book, you can see the trim all around. But I didn't have to I don't want to say waste trim, but I guess I could say waste trim, whatever. I just felt like it wasn't like absolutely necessary to get the look that I needed, and I saved some trim that way. So like that, saving is nice because you can make more junk journals now. But yeah, I love that. Look at that paper and look at that trim. Cray. Okay, so there. I put it together, and I'm putting the other, so I'm putting all that together and loving it. So yep, I think this is long enough. So yeah, I hope that you guys really like it, and that you will continue to see where this goes, and hopefully I will be able to make another video soon to show you the next steps, and having lots of fun sharing. I hope you will comment below. I hope you will subscribe if you would like to continue to see these videos, and definitely give me a thumbs up, please, because that lets me know that you like it. And again, if you will comment, that's always awesome. If you have any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer, and just any encouragement is always welcome.